What's going on, everyone? It's Kochyy here. So the new end of the month banner for this month is Illusion and Reality Karakura Battle Summons, and it features a new Aizen, Shunsui, as well as Shinji. So we got this information on the last raid reset, but there wasn't any info on the stats or skills just yet. But they were showcased on the KLab Games live stream, the Japanese stream. So I'm just going to go over the gameplay footage there and the stats there, and what I believe to be their skills, and give you my analysis and first impressions on them. So we'll just look at this. They're coming on the 30th at reset. So the new summons will feature 3 new characters: Aizen with spiritual pressure to wipe out everything, Shunsui who with his determined battle plan, and Shinji with his skillful attacks. Start saving your spirit orbs now. So we'll first look at Shinji. Shinji is a speed attribute unit. He is a Soul Reaper and Hollow affiliation. He has the Soul Reaper Killer. His trait is damage reduction 20%, and his stats are as follows: is 1059 stamina, 641 attack, 358 defense, 347 focus, and 774 SP. And his skills, which I believe to be, are Sprinter, Bruiser 20%, Devastation 40, Frenzy, and Debilitator 5 seconds. And also, of course, the skill to upgrade his damage reduction from 16 to 20. So for Shinji, some positives: he is a Speed Frenzy unit. He has high SP. It is, I believe, the 3rd highest, or tied for 3rd highest. The Soul Reaper Killer is nice. He has confusion on everything, and he does have a transformation on his special. So he does put on his mask, and because of transformation, that means he gets a strong attack reset on everything. The negative, again, like the DR trait isn't useful for Frenzy unit, and it also is a positive in another sense, that the DR trait will be useful for a PvP unit who can use Shinji as a link. So we'll look at his gameplay and then we'll talk more about him. Alright, and here's the gameplay for Shinji. Apologies for the quality. I took this from the live stream and I tried to make it as full screen as possible, which obviously is going to lower the quality, but I don't believe Twitter or Facebook videos are out yet, so we're just going to have to deal with what we have. So we're just going to try to quickly look at his gameplay and I'll give you my thoughts on it. So here's his Nat string. It's a standard 4-hit Nat string. Looks, I mean, for a Frenzy unit, you're not really too concerned with the Nat string, so it is what it is. I like the little effects on it, like the trailing lines like behind it when he attacks. It looks nice. And here they're going to use his SA1. So his SA1, it's like the inverted world kind of I guess thing they're going for. He's walking upside down and it attacks everything around him in an AoE as he walks forward. It looks nice, but practically I do have some issues with it. One, it's pretty slow. Compare that to other lunging strong attacks that are done in like an instant, and this guy's got like a full-on like animation, walking animation. Secondly, it reminds me of Senkaizen's SA1, and Senkaizen's SA1 you can't cancel out of. So I'm worried that if that's the same case with Shinji, then every time you use that, you have to let the full thing play out. And I don't like that. It's worse than it needs to be, because you don't always need the full animation. You don't always need, the entire damage. Sometimes you only need the first 2 hits or something, and you can move on with the next part of the quest. So I don't like that. Shinji may be locked into that animation. Hopefully he isn't. Hopefully you can cancel out, but so far I'm not too happy with that. And then I think they show his SA2 right here. Those SA2 is a circular, this time he's not moving, he's standing in place, and it's an AoE around him. Reminds me of 1000 Year Blood War Kisuke's SA2, very similar to that in my opinion, but Kisuke's SA2 is a lot longer. I believe it's like 2 seconds from start to finish. Shinji's looks like it's a lot faster, which is nice, but still kind of underwhelming when you think of the other types of strong attacks we've gotten in the game and other SA2s that we've gotten. A circular SA2 like that is like kind of meh, if you ask me. And then lastly, we have his SA3 here. And his SA3 looks to be just a standard full screen type strong attack, which is fine. And then we will have a look at his special. So his special, he throws his hat and then he puts on his mask, slashes at the screen. And if you noticed, it refreshed the cooldown on his strong attack there. So like I said, it is a reset on his strong attacks. So he gets all his strong attacks back, and then when he uses his strong attacks again, they have a little like particle effect. They look a bit different. Some people said the AoE increased. I don't actually think so, because they've never done that for the other transforming characters. I don't know why they would do it for Shinji. But yeah, he will get a magnification increase though if it's consistent with other transformation specials. So he'll do more damage while transformed and he gets a reset, but that's about it. They didn't show his SA2 or SA3 after that, which is weird, which I don't like. But anyway, that's Shinji's gameplay. Overall, like I said, I think he's kind of a flawed SP unit or a frenzy unit. I don't understand why they keep giving DR. They just make their PvE viability worse and more likely to become a PvP link, like Chad would love Shinji as a link. I said pretty much all I need to say about his strong attacks. And again, the transformation special is nice, the reset is good. I can think of that in maybe Guild Quest as a support unit. If he's a bonus, he'll be a pretty nice bonus to have because you basically have his base SA3, and then when you nuke with him, you can use his transformed SA3 as well as his SA2 and SA1, but I probably wouldn't want to use the SA1 because it's just slow and you might get a worse clear time because of it. But yeah, overall, Shinji, I don't really see him bringing that much as a speed frenzy Soul Reaper killer. I think that people will mostly want to pull for him because of his link, and he's not really all that great as a unit himself. He's about average or even below average where I'd put him. But anyway, that's Shinji, and we'll move on to the next character. Alright, and the next unit is Shunsui, who's a mind unit. He is a Soul Reaper and Captain affiliation. He has a Rancor Killer, a 20% normal attack damage soul trait, 1071 stamina, 766 attack, 379 defense, 344 focus, and 620 SP. And his skills are what I believe to be Sprinter, Bruiser 50%, Berserker 30, Devastation 40, Paralysis Immunity, Poise, and Weaken Defense. And just going based off his stats and skills, he's a Mind Nad unit with very high attack. I believe it's like the 4th highest in the game, or he's tied for 4th highest in the game, I should say. A Rancor Killer is good, the trait is fine, 50% Bruiser is pretty standard, what we get these days for Nad units. Paralysis Immunity is a nice bonus, and obviously the biggest thing is he has Poise. But before we get into that, let's just look at his gameplay, and then we'll talk more about what this unit kind of, I guess, offers or brings to the game. Alright, and this is Shunsui's gameplay. So we'll start with his Nad string, which is a 4-hit string. Honestly, if you ask me, it looks pretty average, not too fast or slow. His SA1, I'm going to just actually slow this down really quickly. His SA1 is a dash type strong attack. He moves from like here to here. From like this dark tile to like here. He like barely moved forward, and I don't really like these lunging type strong attacks that look so, honestly, they just look pathetic. It looks like a 4-star strong attack. 4-star characters have those kind of like really, I don't know, weak looking strong attacks. That's what this looks like, and I don't think a 6-star unit should have those type of strong attacks. Anyway, but that was his SA1. Here's his SA2. He does a kind of spin into a downward attack right there. And then lastly, I'll just play it at normal speed. He does his SA3 here, which is a vortex style, similar to White Zangetsu. And I think he attacks with his shadow at the end. I saw shadow pop up. So yeah, once again, this is SA1, very limited lunge. SA2 doesn't seem that bad, if I'm honest. And then his Nad string, once again, SA1. And we'll see his special move right here. So his special move, he throws his hat up and then comes back down to cut through it while your vision is blinded. Reminiscent of his fight against Stark. I believe he did that against Stark. I like the special, I like the way it looks, and it does do weaken defense. But that is Shunsui's gameplay. Overall, Shunsui, he seems like a very typical mad unit, except that he has poise. Like I said, his string seems average, his strong attacks kind of have short-ish range. They don't look all that impressive, but really all that matters is if you can guard break with them and cancel out and then continue using your normals. I think the combination of poise and paralysis immunity will make him pretty good for autoing for relevant inheritance zone. I know some people, they see poise and they immediately think PvP. Honestly, being a mind captain unit in PvP where Unohana is still relevant and there, I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't see him doing anything in PvP, if I'm going to be honest. And you know, all that being said, our last mind NAD for our Rankar killer was Full Hollow Ichigo. Maybe not last. It might be. Even Full Hollow Ichigo might have been the last Rankar killer for mind. Melee, at least. I know we got Bond Shikai Ichigo fairly recently. But yeah, I guess Shunsui takes that spot for now. But I don't really see, like I said, much use for him other than occasional autoing inheritance zone. So that was Shunsui, and now we'll move on to the next character. Alright, and the last character we're going to look at is Aizen. Aizen is a power attribute unit. He has the Soul Reaper and Hollow affiliation. He has Hollow Killer. His soul trait is Strong Attack Recharge 12%. He has 1053 stamina, 638 attack, 361 defense, 348 focus, and 782 SP, which is insane. His skills are, which I believe to be Sprinter, Frenzy, Bruiser 20%, Devastation 40, Freeze Immunity, and Debilitator 5 seconds. So yeah, being a power Frenzy unit, which is fine. He does have Frenzy, he has the SAR trait, he has a relevant PvE killer, and he has insanely high SP, which is, I believe, the second highest in-game behind Yuha. But we'll look at his gameplay and his strong attacks because that really is what makes or breaks a Frenzy unit. Alright, and here's the gameplay for Aizen. Starting with his normal attack string, it's a bit interesting. He does two projectile-like spheres, and then the third and fourth hit are split into 3 projectiles. They push back a lot. I believe they do pierce as well, and they hit multiple times per projectile. It's a bit of a weird NAD string. I don't know, like his NAD string, like it feels like it controls like a lot of area. I want to see how he would do on auto and how far he would get just pushing stuff away. I don't think it would be that great, but it's just a weird thought. Something I want to try if I did pull this character. But anyway, here's his SA1. Now his SA1, I don't really know what to make of this. If you just pull that back a little bit, I don't really know what to make of this attack. It looks very narrow, and it doesn't seem like it goes anywhere. It just kind of like starts and ends. So it seems like a kind of narrow linear attack that doesn't have that much range. I'd have to really try it in like a test play just to see, or just to get a good idea of it. And there's his strong attack 2, which is a moving vortex. No havoc though, so the AoE is kind of, it's the base AoE. It doesn't have the larger AoE from havoc, and I don't know why they just stopped adding havoc to characters. Anyway, so this is his strong attack 3. He kind of like flicks his hand upwards and it's just a big, looks like to be full screen AoE attack. We'll pull that back once again for his SA1. Again, his SA1, I don't know what to make of this. It looks like it continues on forward, like his attack from like his sword or whatever, but like the width isn't too great. Just from this frame, I know the quality is really bad. It looks like Baragon's SA2, but I don't think it actually travels as far as Baragon's SA2, because after that, it's kind of just gone. I don't know, I feel like it would have hit one of these mobs maybe, but yeah, I'd have to test that to see. His SA2, once again, moving vortex. And then I believe now we get to see his special move. And his special, I'll say right now, kind of reminds me of Senkaizen, with like the debris like falling, or debris like everywhere, and then he just like, I guess, just destroys everything with Reiatsu. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Aizen. That's Aizen's gameplay. Overall, this character, he seems kind of strange to me. I don't know. His strong attacks, they... like, I don't really know what his SA1 is, so I can't really say... Oh, oops. I don't know what his SA1 is, so I can't really say, like, or give, like, a good judgment on that. If it continues traveling, if it's like Baragon's SA2, then I think that's pretty good. It doesn't seem like a projectile type strong attack. It seems like it's melee collision, which is good. The Vortex, I'm not really a huge fan of Vortex strong attacks. They're slow and they're good for crowd control, but for just in terms of clearing, they're not that great. His SA3 full screen looks to be, that's fine. And his Nad string, I don't really know what to make of it. Like I said, I would like to try that on auto in Inheritance Zone or something and just see, you know, how much it just controls the mobs, because it pushes them pretty far back. But yeah, as a frenzy unit, I don't really see Aizen being all that strong. A ranged frenzy unit, we still have Tag Team Genryusai, and Tag Team Genryusai also has Soul Reaper Killer. He has dual killers. So Aizen, yeah, unfortunately, sad to say that I don't see him being all that great. Again, average or even below average as a frenzy unit. I wish he was done a bit better, and the strong attacks had a bit bigger AoE and they hit more around him. For a character that's, you know, boasted or shown to have like such high spiritual pressure and just like kind of large, like destructive kind of power, these like kind of narrow, small kind of strong attacks just don't really fit the bill for me, in my opinion. So I wish he had, you know, larger AoE strong attacks. But that's pretty much it for Aizen, and pretty much it for what I have to say for this banner. So we don't know the fillers or anything yet. I believe that kind of information will come at Raid Reset tonight. So anyway, let me know your opinions on these characters, what you thought of them, if you're excited for them or not, if any of these characters are your favorites and you're going after them. Personally, I think I will summon on this banner just for the heck of it, but I won't summon too much. But anyway, that was my opinion on these characters, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative, and I will talk to you all later.